Before we begin, uzogeza izandla zakho. Faka iphini. I'm kidding. Hi Hans, welcome to Womening. My name is Destiny. So today I'm feeling a bit artsy fartsy, crafty, creative. So thanks to my friend Sally Malebana. She's my friend now because Cheapskates Unite. She does not know it yet, but we besties. So anyway, she taught me how to make scented candles. So um, that's what we'll be doing today. You only need three things, and that is a mason jar, essential oil, and normal load shedding candles. I got this for about 50 rand or less, I think, because I got the essential oils for 24 rand and I got the mason jars for 10 rand each. I already had the candles, but I think you would find them for less than 20 bucks. So let's make love candles. I mean, scented candles.
Hi there, voiceover Destiny here. So I make a lot of mistakes, but this is good because that means you won't have to. So the first thing I do is that I put my stove on medium heat and fill it up halfway with boiling water. And then on top of that, I put an empty salad bowl, or you can use an enamel bowl if you have one. My first mistake was trying to melt all the candles in my bowl. Never keep all your eggs in one basket. I should have listened. So keep one at least. I'll show you why you need it later. And also, if you can keep or take out the candle wicks or the candle strings out, do that. You don't have to melt them in there, but that's optional. I'm not sure if closing the pot makes it melt any faster, but I did because it felt right at the time. And speaking of time, I added a little bit of it for aesthetics. This has no benefits because it just seeps to the bottom anyway, so I don't advise it. Now, let me tell you something. This is gonna take a while, okay? Maybe an hour, maybe two. So take your time with it. Don't put your stove on high because that'll just burn your pot for no reason. So relax, take your time with it, keep shaking, and use a wooden spoon if you wanna like keep stirring, but there's no need because the wooden spoon is just easier to clean up the wax when it's dry. So when the wax had melted completely, I had to take out the candle wicks out, right? Again, an unnecessary step if I had just taken them out when the candles were still intact. But anyway, I just remembered that I want two different smelling candles because I have two different essential oils and I don't want them mixing up. So I had to take out half of this into a bowl and then add the first essential oil, which is lemongrass. I added as many drops as I felt like would be enough, which was a lot. But in my defense, if I'm making a lemongrass candle, I want it to smell like lemongrass from a mile away. But this is all personal preference. You can add as much as you feel like is enough. I stirred it in there for the next 2 minutes just to make extra sure that it is infused in there. Now, remember that mistake I told you about at first? Now, if I had not melted all my candles, I would have had one candle left to break a piece of and then melt the bottom of it to the bottom of the jar. I did try recovering a half molten candle so I could have the string exactly at the center when I pour the wax in. It kind of worked, but it would have worked better if the candle was not molten at all. So now you just pour in the wax. Don't be shy to fill it up to the rim because the candle will burn anyway. So no worries about it spilling over or whatever. Another mistake I made is not having newspapers under all this mess because wax is not the easiest to get off counters. So especially if you're at your mother's house, make sure you protect her counter. I was mad at myself. I would have shouted at myself if I was my child. So for my second candle, I did the same thing with the essential oil in the bowl and the wax. But in this case, I did not have the little candle left, so I just stuck the candle wicks onto the bottom of the jar. So I poured in the hot candle wax into the jar while still holding onto the candle wicks so that it doesn't move. made a lot of mess. So please make sure you have newspapers on your counters to protect your counters or to protect yourself from the cleaning you have to do after this. Ugh. So I used a peg to keep it all in place. And now for the fun part that my childhood playmates would never stay behind for, the cleanup. And here's some advice if you happen to spill some wax on your counters or surfaces. First, make sure that it's completely dried up. Then pick it with a metal spatula or egg lifter. But if you're using a knife, just be very gentle at the top of the wax. Don't scrape the surface itself. Have a very light hand. Keep wiping it with a warm towel in a handy Andy and a kitchen scour or kitchen sponge. I feel like it's my true responsibility to remind you that you can avoid yonke le drama by working on top of an old newspaper. Oh, and about the candles, I was wondering to myself, how would I know which one is the lemongrass one and which one is the lavender one? So I marked the lemongrass one with a lemon sack over it, but we'll deal with that tomorrow when it's dry. So be back tomorrow. Thanks to YouTube times, this is the next day and the candles are dry and ready to burn. First things first, I cut the cord. Don't make it too short, don't make it too long. Cut it to about 2 centimeters long. So about the lemon sack, my logic was if I burn the candle over the sack, then it's gonna give me a yellow light. But that's not how sacks work, Destiny. So yeah, that was not the idea there. So I just rolled it outwards for aesthetics, I guess, and now it looks proper and well, at least marked as the lemongrass candle. And to mark the lavender one, the cool thing about these jars is that the top is removable. So I just put back the lid without the top. And yeah, that's about it. Hey guys, don't judge my candle decorations. Point is, they're lighter and they smell good. And that's all I needed. And that, boys and girls, is how you make your own scented candles. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please let me know by leaving a thumbs up below. And thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. See you in the next video.